fact, I think it's true, raw, and real. I think we actually like go into, if you've listened to some of the episodes, we like get true. We get raw. And it sounded like I was cheerleading. We go rah. No, we get for real. We get to a place, I think we've had conversations like in person. We actually go in depth to them with the podcast. It's actually, we have this new platform where we love this because for us, it feels like no time limit. And so we have on full conversations for an entire hour.
No, I describe it as like a lot of arguments. a lot of videotape discussions, heated discussions sometimes, where we're just talking. No, but I think it's a lot of conversations, honest conversations. I think that we talk about different things, and I think things that we care about, things that we find interesting. We try to stay away from certain like hot topic things like top politics and stuff like that. We try not to get too heavy into those things, but other than that, I think we're pretty fair game.
For me, it's pretty easy because you just turn on the camera and you start recording. But no, the production side of it, truthfully, honestly, it can be a pain in the ass because we have to like really, having any old conversation would be fine and nice, but is that really how we want to engage our audience? Just like talking about nothing? I don't know. And so sometimes we have a hard time like electing topics and making sure we're not trying to be entertaining, but make sure we actually we've thrown out a few episodes because they just weren't good enough. And so what you're getting is and now you're probably thinking that's your best. Well, no, we're introducing ourselves. I think we're still introducing ourselves. And so we're getting to a place where we can introduce. We're now at a place where you're actually getting like us. Does that make any sense? Sometimes I ramble, and if you hear the podcast, you know exactly how I do this. I ramble and I ramble and I ramble.
No, it's not really that hard. It's actually pretty easy to produce the show itself. I think the hard part is sometimes agreeing on like what we're going to talk about, and then I think sometimes we disagree on what we're even when we're in the middle of an episode, we'll like come to a point where we just disagree, and then we'll be like, you know what, let's just stop. This episode is no good. And we'll stop recording. I think that's the hard part. And then sometimes we're distracted, like one of us will be distracted, and then usually it's Angelica where she's looking around everywhere. And then I'm like, what's going on? And then we like stop, or those are the pieces that I'll cut out. But I think the show itself, is not hard to produce, because I think when we started making the show, like we decided that we were gonna leave a lot of the things in there that we maybe before would have edited out of another show, but we just decided, you know what, we're gonna leave a lot of it in, for the most part.
I do actually. One of my favorite episodes was from the very beginnings. I think it's the one where we talk about we talked about infidelity in our relationship, and then I go on to talk about like if ever like open relationship or something like that. I don't know, I have to go back and listen to it. I still think the same way, but I don't know exactly what I said on it. That's one of my favorite ones. Yeah. I don't know what episode that is. I think that's episode it's for sure less than 10.
I like the Halloween episode. I think that was one of my favorites. It was just fun. I enjoyed like planning. I planned for that like weeks in advance, like thinking about my costume, even though it didn't come out that great, even though it didn't look that great, but I really enjoyed that episode. I thought it was fun. I liked the cupcakes at the end. I really thought Angelica was going to bring her costume, because she said she was going to like do these like she was going to be the Little Red Riding Hood, and she was going to be the Big Bad Wolf. So I was expecting one of those. So when she didn't bring those, I was like, what the hell? But I was really into it. So that's one of my favorite episodes, I think.
What are we on? We're like in episode 40, 50? So the first 10 episodes, that one, like go listen to if any of the episodes, if you listen to any of our past episodes is what I'm trying to say, listen to the first 10. That'll give you an emphasis as to who we are, like at the core. All the time, every episode. Everything. Your eyebrows, the color of your shoes. We have arguments about everything, but hey, it's marriage, and it's true. It's who we are. Not that we fight all the time, but I mean, there's going to be disagreements. Correct? No? What do you think?
Yeah, we have a lot of disagreements about the show. I think we had more disagreements at the beginning about the format, like what it was going to be, what things we were going to talk about, because I really wanted to kind of get into politics more, and I think Angelica was always clear that she didn't want to do that. And then after a while, when we started seeing like how political everybody else was getting, or should I start over?
No, it's okay.
After we started seeing how political everybody else was getting, then I was like, okay, that was probably a good call. We shouldn't be that political. But other than that, like, I mean, it's typical disagreements here and there, but it's nothing major. I think it's just like, hey, like this clip, like there have been moments where I've edited the show and I've left something in there, or I didn't catch something. And then Angelica came and pointed it to me, and she was like, here in this frame, this happened, and this is what I need you to see, there was something wrong here. And then I was like, oh shit. And sometimes that meant taking the show off completely and re-uploading it. In other cases, I was able to convince her to be like, it's not that big of a deal. And so the shows are up there. I'm not going to tell you which episodes those were. But there are some out there that we know what the things are that were wrong.
There is one show that I would re-record, and that's the one where we talk about our past loved ones. I think at that moment I wanted to show appreciation for my sister, and what I did was I showed a lot of emotion and not appreciation for my sister. Like, you could tell I loved her, but I wanted to talk more about her, and I think I would have done a better job at it if I wasn't such a crybaby on it.
Maybe a few of the episodes where we talked about things like toxic masculinity and stuff like that, like I think I came in with like guns blazing, ready for an argument, and I think maybe if we re-recorded them again, maybe we wouldn't be so combative with each other.
Fucking COVID, dude. Like, we had time to record it. We had been talking about doing this podcast for years, and we had a plethora of time. But the inspiration just came from, I don't know, wanting to do another project with you.
I think it was just like doing the project together. Like, I think we have always worked together, but we had really kind of stopped working together for a while, like where we weren't really doing a lot together. So this was kind of picking that back up again. And I think we both had been wanting to do something. And I think other than that, that, and then the fact that we already had a lot of the equipment. So it was like, we have to use it if we have it.
We have it. What do we do with the equipment?
Yeah, like we have it. Why not use it? Let's use it. I guess that's the cheapskate in me that I'm like, wait a minute. If we pay for it, we got to use it. We can't we can't just have it and not use it.
As for this show, the Juan of Words podcast itself, I think I want to keep it very us. Just me and you, a constant conversation. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to mix people into it, like bring them on as co-host. I want to have conversations, obviously, with other people, like, outside, like of you and me. But I don't know if I would introduce like a third party, or if we would go on like full production. I don't know if that's a thing for us, or if that's a possibility. But for right now, like, my future for the next year or two is to keep it between us.
I want to try different sets. I want to try different, like I don't know, like maybe doing different things. I like I said, I like the Halloween thing. I like that was fun, like doing, like being a little bit out of character. I think it'd be interesting to see it, like seeing it in different sets and different scenarios, like in different, whether it's like outside or whether it's, in another studio space, like doing it in different places, I think would be cool. Oh
my God. Yeah. So one thing about my co-host, my husband, that I wish people knew about him. that he's not tan seco, like he's not that dry in real person. He shows a lot of personality. He has a bigger personality that he seems to have a hard time showing on here. I keep telling him, like, Juan, you gotta let go. And I think I've told it in a few episodes, like, baby, you gotta unclench. Like, you gotta let loose. You gotta be who you are on here. You know, sometimes he takes it very serious and he wants to be very proper. And I tell him, I'm like, Juan, look at me dead in my eyes, baby. You gotta let go, baby. You gotta show them who you really are. Like, you show them who you are, but you gotta show them who you really are. If you can count on here, and count how many times he says the word or the phrase, you know, you'll understand my frustration.
She's not as tough as she wants to come off as all the time. She's pretty soft.
That's it?
Yeah. You want me to say more?
I'm a bad bitch. I gotta let people know I'm a bad bitch. Bye.
Bye.